My best friend got pregnant by my boyfriend. When I found out about it, and I decided to run away from home. Now my mom demands that I come back. But it's a long and complicated story. It all started 15 years ago, and it has greatly influenced my life. When I was 18, I was in high school and relied on my life being on a good path. I lived with my parents, I had 4 siblings, and I spent most of my time with my best friend, Ashley. We had been together for 3 years, and my boyfriend, Kyle, was a mutual friend. We had a good relationship, and we even planned to get married after graduating from college. Although I also had plans to go to university, I was happy enough and thought about becoming a housewife. My parents agreed with our relationship and fully supported us. I really believed that Kyle was the love of my life. By the way, it's worth mentioning that my sister also dated Kyle's brother for almost 2 years, and our siblings were very close. I found out that Ashley was pregnant at the beginning of her senior year of school. She looked very sad and unhappy, and when I asked her, she confessed to me that she was pregnant. I was shocked because I didn't know that she had broken up with her ex recently, and that she had someone else in her life. She didn't want to tell me her father's name, but she hinted that it was her ex. She was very upset, so I decided not to continue this topic and just support her. I was by her side throughout the entire 9 months of pregnancy. I went to ultrasounds with her, supported her when she was bullied at school because of her pregnancy, helped her set up a nursery, went shopping with her. We spent a lot of time together, and she was my best friend. Later, 2 weeks before giving birth, I met Ashley's ex-boyfriend at the mall. Although I promised myself I would never contact him again, his presence made me angry. I decided to talk to him and tell him what I think. It turned out that he did not know about the pregnancy and they broke up a year ago. But after that, he became sarcastic and mentioned that I could ask him if he was the father. I didn't attach much importance to these words, since Kyle and Ashley had always been friends, and I had no reason to suspect him. In the evening, when I told my younger sister about what had happened, she ran into my mother's room and told her everything. My mom was very angry with me. I vaguely remember the exact details, as everything happened in an emotional state. My sister told my mom that I ran into Ashley and her ex-boyfriend, and mom was very disappointed. Now she demands that I come home. By chance, I found out the fact that Kyle was the father of Ashley's child. When I found out about it, I was shocked. I stumbled in the kitchen, demanding an explanation. My mom and sister turned pale, and they saw me, and my sister started crying. My sister explained to me some of the things that I later learned from other people. It turned out that Kyle and Ashley spent the summer holidays in the same house, where there was an obscene party. They both got drunk and slept together. Ashley got pregnant and told Kyle, but both were ashamed to discuss it with anyone else. However, according to rumors, she could not keep this secret and told her parents, who in turn told Kyle's parents about it. I found out about all this when Ashley was already in the first trimester of pregnancy. Her entire circle of acquaintances, including Kyle and Ashley's siblings, knew about her pregnancy, except for me. I couldn't understand my feelings and felt physically unwell for the next 3 days. They were trying to find Kyle and Ashley to talk to all of us and resolve the situation. They called and came to my house, but I refused to see them. At some point, Kyle's mom came to our house and allowed herself to come into my room. I was lying on the bed, still sick and emotionally exhausted. She tried to convince me to forgive Kyle and Ashley, explaining how much they needed me and the baby. 2 weeks later, Ashley gave birth to a baby girl. My parents informed me that she had suffered a difficult birth and lost a lot of blood, and had to have an emergency cesarean section. Kyle was there at birth. I was shocked and disappointed by the betrayal of both of them. As it seemed to me, everything turned against me. Some time after that, I decided to leave the house. However, doubt soon arose, and I just sat in the living room, feeling a terrible sense of emptiness. Then I got a message from my sister telling me that Ashley had given birth to a healthy baby girl, and that they were both doing well. They gave the child the name Sarah, as it was chosen by us a few months ago. Later, my parents and Ashley's parents gathered at the bar to celebrate. My parents tried to contact me, and my mom sent me a panicked voice message demanding to come back. As a result, they declared me missing. Then I met Dean, who also lived in Phoenix and had a difficult relationship with his family. We became very close friends, and he helped me deal with all the problems that were very difficult for me to deal with. He introduced me to his friends and helped me finish high school. I moved in with him and his friends and worked in a store. Dean was always there for me and supported me in everything. Gradually, I began to forgive Kyle and Ashley, but at the same time I began to feel rage. I may have made mistakes and regretted my attitude towards them for a while, but the emotions were strong. I even thought about going to the doctor, but I couldn't afford it. Finally, I decided to leave the city with Dean. I didn't have a clear plan for the future, but I was ready to start from scratch. The whole story turned out to be fantastic, and I still had a hard time understanding what had happened in the last few weeks. I couldn't believe that my parents, who were supposed to support me, chose to support those who caused me such pain. This period was very difficult for me, but I found support in Dean and his friends. For the sake of this support, I am grateful to them and still consider them my true friends. A lot of people are wondering how I'm doing right now. First of all, I would like to thank all the great people who have sent me wonderful messages. I've never mentioned a younger sister, but there have been a lot of changes lately. After I left home, her relationship with her parents collapsed and she lost contact with them when she was 20 years old. One day my older sister gave me her number, and although it was awkward, I decided to call. It's been 15 years, but she was very angry with me for leaving and not participating in her life. She had many important events, including the birth of her own child, but we were able to reconnect, and now she's my best friend. We talk every day about other siblings, and I have regular contact with both of my brothers. Although my relationship with my older sister is not that close, and I feel good in this place. Now I have a great relationship with my nieces and nephews. I didn't go to my niece's birthday party because I thought it would be difficult for me to see my parents. It wasn't easy for me, and it felt like I was reliving all this emotional hell all over again. Talking to my mother about my friendship and health problems was very unpleasant for me, and she even accused me of protecting my children from her influence. Eventually, my mother stopped calling and pestering me. In August, there was some kind of shift, and I found out that she had filed for divorce. I still communicate with my father, although I doubt that we will ever be able to restore normal relations. Mom was heartbroken after August, and her calls became frantic. In February, she couldn't contact me, and one of my brothers told me that she had problems with anxiety and depression, and had lost a lot. In fact, she has no problems with anxiety and depression. I don't want to have anything to do with my mom, and I don't want her around my kids and the things she told me. After 15 years without contact, it's crazy. Although I regret that I don't have a mom, I feel better.